The Dentist Who Loafed. The country road, a forgotten ribbon of asphalt outside the small city, bled into a deeper, more profound darkness as he lay there. A sliver of moon, barely risen, had been his only witness when he'd taken the curve too fast. His new Grand Marquis, a gleaming symbol of success, had bucked and spun, its carefully engineered control dissolving under the influence of his nitrous oxide riddled brain, too sluggish to prevent the inevitable, sickening crunch. He'd giggled then, a high, nervous sound, even as he dragged himself through the splintered glass that now glittered menacingly on the desolate pavement. This stretch hadn't always been so isolated, but since the new highway had rerouted the world, it was a ghost of its former self. Any scattered neighbors would long be tucked away. Folks in this area held to the adage, nothing good happens after 10 p.m. And tonight, as his gaze fell upon his watch, its face a spiderweb of cracks, the gold band scuffed and gouged from the impact, and his subsequent crawl, the wisdom of that saying was chillingly clear. He sighed, a raspy expulsion of breath, finding what he hoped was a safe hollow by the dusty verge. His legs, he could tell, were undeniably broken. His black and blue toes were already deepening to a grotesque purple. A fleeting thought, absurd in its timing, surfaced. Where was his shoe? He scanned the gloom. The expensive loafers imported from Germany were suddenly paramount. The watch, a tacky bauble from the Dental Association, a consolation prize for a Dentist of the Year, held no significance. But the loafers, a wave of panic, sharp and cold, washed over him. He twisted his head, peering back up the winding road from where he'd come. Nothing but a thick, pearlescent fog, slowly, inexorably, creeped towards him. Always preoccupied with what you possess, never truly valuing what you still have, Mr. Lowry? A voice, light and ephemeral as a breeze, drifted from the mist. A nascent specter began to coalesce at the fog's shimmering edge, hundreds of feet away. Are you the ghost of Christmas future? Oh, spectral illusion, why do you torment me so? He mocked, his voice a pathetic croak, attempting bravado. No, the voice replied, almost angelic in its purity. Oh, then perhaps the ghost of Oopsie Daisies then, he chuckled, a brittle sound as the swirling fog began to thicken, heavy clouds forming a vaguely human visage. No, the voice repeated, even as feet, then hands, then a face began to take shape, the swirling mist perpetually reforming around it. He stared, captivated and horrified, as a misty foot moved forward, a leg forming with eerie precision above it. An unsettling realization began to creep, an icy tendril around his heart. You're not gas, are you? He stammered, his mind still trying to rationalize, mistaking the vision for a nitrous-induced hallucination. Now the chilling truth began to prick at his consciousness. He might not be hallucinating at all. Are you real? He asked the figure, a hood now forming, subtly obscuring distinct features. Only drawn cheeks, heavy-lidded eyes, and a gaunt frame hinted beneath a cloak of white and gray fog that swirled and billowed. Are you? The figure countered, fog rolling back to reveal long, impossibly thin arms, its left hand extending to his side. I'm not sure. I I think so, he answered dreamily, the residual haze of drugs still clouding his thoughts, creating a surreal disassociation from his shattered body. The misty figure began to reach out into the thickening fog, molding it with impossible ease, its thin fingers running through the ethereal clouds, creating an edge, then a curve. You already came down. Now you're just being hopeful, the figure keenly observed, its hands working the shifting clouds into a long, thin pole, then connecting a wicked, gleaming blade to a hilt. Are you about to harvest some wheat there, mate? He tried to joke weakly, dread beginning to sink its teeth deeper, reaching to his very marrow. I'm harvesting something, the robed figure affirmed, moving towards him now, slowly, deliberately, as if the very winds molded and propelled it up the dusty country road. That's not funny, the man managed, trying futilely to move, his faculties failing him. I'm not trying to be, the visage offered, approaching faster now, a light, impossible stride carrying it within 100 yards. Its features previously indistinct became more prominent, more defined, with every passing second. You're the Reaper, then, he whispered, the hairs on the back of his neck rising in a prickling salute of terror. The figure approached, subtly nodding in the affirmative. He tried to recoil, his legs utterly unresponsive, his arms weak. as dark blood slowly seeped from numerous lacerations on his hands, wrists, and legs. I'm hurt worse than I thought, he mumbled to himself, glancing back at the figure that had closed half the distance. The figure once again offered a subtle knowing yes. You can't do this, you know. Anger, a hot, desperate surge began to rise, his blood pressure spiking. He tried to push himself upright, managing only a knee on the cracked pavement before collapsing with a cry of agony. I don't deserve to die. I don't deserve it, he screamed at the thing relentlessly advancing. I'm a respected dentist. I give back to the community. Are you an angel or a demon? Here to drag me to hell? You, you son of a bitch. You bastard. Is that it? You are a demon? The doctor, fueled by a primal fury, railed. Answer me, you asshole. Answer me. I deserve to know why. The Reaper said nothing, its pace unwavering, the gleaming scythe held casually at its side, its stride faster now, an inexorable march. No, come on. You don't have to do this. Take a child molester or a thief. There are murderers everywhere. In fact, I read somewhere that we all walk past serial killers and never know it, he begged, his voice raw, desperately trying to withstand the agony of splintered shins and shattered knees grinding against sharp pebbles. The Reaper never broke stride as it came within mere feet of the broken man. The ghostly car lights began to fade, the clouded figure looming over him. Okay, okay, I'll go to church. I'll give up the NOS. Come on, man. Come on. You know there are worse than me. Worse. Way worse. He pleaded, his head lolling, desperately trying to appeal to something, anything. I'll donate all my profits. I'll build a free clinic. I'll even give up my Dentist of the Year award. I swear it's yours. Take it. That won't do, the figure stated, now standing directly over him, resonating not just in his ears, but in the very core of his being. If I don't look at you, you are not real. The dentist tried one last pathetic defense, his face pressed into the cold, damp dirt, tears tracing clean paths through the grime. He felt a soft, sturdy surface lift his chin, compelling him to look into the impenetrable darkness of the cowl. A voice low, gentle, yet utterly firm, interrupted his whimpering. It is simple. It is your time. The doctor wept, a profound gut-wrenching sorrow for himself and all he would lose. The answers he had so frantically begged for remained unspoken until finally a new desperate thought surfaced. I'm not dead though. I'm talking. I hurt. I have injuries, but I'm not dead. He tried once more, grasping at the last vestiges of life. Look, the voice commanded, the tip of the scythe subtly pointing, slowly, as if under an invisible command. The doctor dragged himself just past the unmoving figure, peering beyond the swirling black robes. His car lay on its roof, a mangled wreck, glass shattered outward like an exploded star. Then he saw it, his feet hanging lifelessly from the vehicle, one expensive loafer twisted and crushed over bone, the other foot naked and grotesquely broken. My loafer is gone, he murmured, his mind beginning to unfocus, details of his worldly obsessions dissolving. He peered back into the Reaper's face, and in that silent gaze he finally understood. I don't really have a choice, do I? The man asked, the fight utterly gone. As he spoke, he found himself standing, realizing with a start that he felt no pain, no cold, no fear. He walked past the lone swirling figure, seeing his own broken body for the first time as a separate entity. He bent down effortlessly, finding his prized missing loafer. He picked it up, cradling it, as if it were the only thing that could ground him, a worn security blanket for the terrifying unknown realm he now faced. The Reaper shook its head, a subtle motion that resonated with ancient finality. The pole of the scythe extended, not to strike, but to touch the spirit's neck. It was not a blow, but a connection, a pulling. With a jerk of the scythe, a bright, blinding white light erupted from the man's soul, momentarily illuminating the dark road before it, too, was drawn away. The job done, the Reaper melted back into the creeping fog, the clouds slowly dissipating as the first weak rays of the morning sun broke the eastern horizon. The dentist would be found by a passing neighbor later that day, still stuck in his overturned car, one expensive loafer on, the other, his most prized possession, never found. The end.